guys first. Let's go to the players first, and then we can keep Coach to follow them. All right. So go ahead. Any questions, you can direct them to Gabby or Elizabeth.
I'm gonna make Gabby and Jiggy both make the case for the other for the Patty Kaz, because I know they're both going to defer to the other on this, so it's pointless to ask them to make a case for themselves. Gabby, I'll let you start. Why should Jiggy be the second ever two-time Patty Kaz award winner, which is still crazy in my mind that no one else has doubled up on this yet?
I think there's a lot of reasons that she could potentially do that and why she should do that. She's such a skilled hockey player. She makes unbelievable plays, passes, and she has an unreal shot. She doesn't like to admit it, but she does. When she shoots the puck, I know it's going to go in or at least create a rebound and a good chance for somebody around the net. The plays and passes that she makes are unbelievable, and sometimes they just look so effortless, but they're plays that not a lot of other people can make, and she ends up making them. So I definitely think her skill set sets her above a lot of people on that list. She also is one of the nicest people you will ever meet. I think she brings that personable aspect to it as well, and I am very biased because I love playing with her and I love her as a person. So I could go on and on about how amazing she is, but what she's added to this team and coming into a team for 1 year and making an impact the way she did and being put on the Patty Kaz list again is unbelievable, and that should speak for itself.
We can't hear you.
Oh, there we go. Yeah. Jiggy, why is Gabby wrong? Why should she be? Why should Gabby be the Patty Kaz top three and maybe the first Bulldog to win it here instead of you winning it?
She's wrong for a lot of things. No, I actually just made her case this morning in another interview, so I'm ready for this one. No, for real, Gabby is an amazing player, person, and I said this morning, but so many people don't know what she does outside the rink, and I think that's a big thing that should go within the award, which she manages her time so well. She like what she did with the Green Banana Project and Sophie's squad this year was just, for me, mind-blowing because I had never been part of this before. Outside of that, as a hockey player, she's pretty good too. I mean, she's one of the best center, if not the best center I've ever played with. I mentioned this in previous interviews, but the way she ends up with the puck somehow getting out of the zone, that's why I love playing with her, because I know it's gonna get out somehow. But she has an amazing shot, can make amazing plays. I just love playing with her because she can snipe from anywhere, and I always call the Gabby Hughes as the shot up here. Yeah, she's got that one. So for all these reasons, I think she should be up there in the top three, if not winning it. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if her name would be there when it comes out. I hope it is.
For both of you, Harvard, what do you remember about that last meeting over New Year's weekend out in Boston there?
I remember it was good games. I remember it was high score games too. Like we scored a lot of goals, but we gave up some too. They're a pretty, skilled team. They finished first in their league, so can't take them lightly. Those 2 wins were good for us, but it's a completely new season. It's just one game and then it's done. So I don't know. We're gonna do video. We've done a little bit of video. We're gonna look at it, but I'm excited to play them again, to be honest.
I'm glad Jake took that one because my biggest memory from that trip was our flights getting canceled and being stuck in Boston.
You're as bad as me when it comes to road trips. That's what I remember about all of them as well. Gabby, I remember Jiggy looking like she was having a lot of fun. You know, she said she's looking forward to playing Harvard again. I remember her on the video. You could just see the fun she was having out there. especially in that series. What do you remember besides the delayed flights? Do you remember anything like this? I remember that being a special teams battle and such. And I'm wondering what part of that battle stood out maybe to you, Gabby.
Yeah, I think our special teams were on point that game, and throughout the series, I think our line personally, but everybody else was just having a blast being out in a new facility and playing a new team that we don't usually get to play. So having the opportunity to do that again in a familiar rink for us is super exciting and a little bit of an advantage for us. So we're excited to use that and get to play them again.
Jiggy, I know we talk a lot about, Gabby and the Twin Cities kids getting to go back to Ritter in Minneapolis, but that's a special rink for you as well. Is there some excitement to play an NCAA tournament game again there?
Yeah, for sure. I love playing there even when we played there last weekend and during the season. Like for me, it just holds a special thing in there. But yeah, I'm excited to play there. It's gonna be fun. I mean, like you said, their families are all from there, so we're gonna have some fans. I'm just excited to be there again.
Jiggy, I'm wondering, you've played in the ECAC, you've played a lot of hockey out east, now a season in the WCHA. Do you notice like a different way that games are kind of called between, the East and the West, or is that just like something we make it out to be and such? I ask because, Coach kind of alluded, the final face-off this weekend, it was tough to find a penalty get called, but that's not usually the experience in the NCAA tournament. I'm just curious your perspective on that.
I think it's just different. I mean, yeah, for sure. There is a difference. I think that it's also the way that teams are playing where like the refs are seeing the same teams all year long, then they come in the tournament and it's different type of plays. You know what I'm saying? So it's just yes, there is differences. I think that you can be sometimes a little bit more physical, even too much in the WCHA where they don't call anything, and then sometimes in other leagues they call something when it's like they would never. And so yeah, there is some changes, but I don't think that the refs are going to be an issue. I mean, whatever happens, whatever refs we get, we'll be ready to go.
Do you have a preference, or maybe I'm grasping you're kind of looking for a middle of the road here, maybe?
Yeah, I liked it. Like I like the fact that they let us play a little bit more, but sometimes when it pushes too much where it's like frustrating, but it is what it is. It works on your character, but so I kind of like it.
For both of you to have had so much success over Harvard on their home rink and then now to kind of bring them back to a home away from home, what kind of confidence does that give you heading into the national stage?
I definitely think it's a comfortable thing for us to be going back down to Ritter, knowing the city, knowing the hotel we're staying at, the rink, the facility, and the sheet of ice that we're playing on is definitely a big benefit for us. But Harvard is also traveling and playing in the NCAA tournament, so they're probably just excited to see a new facility and have a little bit different perspective than we have on it. So I think there's benefits from both sides of the view here, but definitely excited to get back down there and play in front of my family and friends that are all going to be coming.
Jigs, do you want to finish that question yourself?
What was the question again?
I was just asking to have had so much success over Harvard and then bring them to kind of a home away from home arena to open up the tournament. What kind of confidence does that give you?
Yeah, I mean, like Gabby said, I think there's good on both sides. It's always like we said before, it was so fun for us to go to Harvard because it was new. It was something that we haven't done before. So that was fun. So I think that they're going to be excited to be here, play WCHA team. And I think for us, it's the same thing. Like we're excited to go back there. as a team. And yeah, we have something to prove from last week, and also in our mind, I think that we just want to go out there and just flush that one away and remember this next one. So
Anything else for those two? Good. All right, you guys get going. We'll leave coach on here. Thanks for being on, guys.
Thank you.
Great job, guys.
bye.
See you soon, coach.
Bye.
Go ahead with coach, you guys.
Maura, man, if I did a shot for every time Julie Friend said they're letting them play this weekend on that WCA on the Big 10 Plus in my 9, I would have been slammed this weekend. It was interesting. Like it was the WCHA. It was a very much a postseason. You know what we see sometimes in the postseason, and like I kind of feel like it reminded me even of that Northeastern game. I mean, it can go either way, but I guess based on the last meeting with Harvard, I mean, are you anticipating special teams to play a role, you know, this weekend in the tournament? And how do you feel about your special teams going into the postseason?
I do expect it. Usually they give you a ref and crew that's outside of your league in the NCAA tournament. I'm not sure if they're doing that with the expanded bracket or what. I think it's just smart for us to be prepared for that and make sure our special teams are feeling good. We work on them every single week, even though we've had a slew of games without power plays this year. So I think we've definitely locked down our PK since Harvard really exposed something. So happy with the adjustments that we've made there, and we like our special teams. Would like to hopefully have a chance to use them, and if there aren't a lot of calls, you want to take advantage of the one the one or maybe two that you get in a game.
How much more improved do you feel the power play has been this year, even though it, like you said, it doesn't get a lot of looks, it doesn't get a lot of chances to go to work oftentimes out there?
Yeah, much better than last year, that's for sure. Coach Schuler has taken the power play over and has done a fantastic job with that. The vision that she has and what she can see and get our players to do has been really impressive and just fun for me to watch. So they're clicking, they feel good. We have a lot of good players on there that can make plays. So I'm really happy with where our power play is at.
Just curious, when do you guys don't find out like in advance, like what type of reffing crew you're going to have for the game at all, do you? There's no chance for you to like scout officials or anything like that, or?
That would be bad for me, I think. No, usually in the NCAA tournament, we find out at the game. Same thing for the WCHA tournament. We didn't, in the regular season, you get an email with who your ref crew is going to be. Tournament time, they just kind of decide based on their rankings, and you find out the day of, which is good.
Are you saying scouting officials would be unhealthy, or?
I think it, yeah, it's probably not the best usage of my time.
Having Jiggy on this roster going into the NCAA tournament, she obviously, you got a roster that was all in the tournament last year, but her experience, extensive NCAA tournament experience, she's won it all. How valuable is that going into this postseason?
Yeah, huge. She's the X factor. She's been there a lot, has had success, knows what it takes to win, and has ice in her veins in big moments. So yeah, it's huge. Get my lights back on here. There we go. Sorry.
Maura, anything you can take away from the quarterfinal series that Harvard had? Maybe anything you can take advantage of?
Similar series to us in Mankato. They played a pesky Princeton team that they had a decent season. It's just down for Princeton compared to the couple of years before. So even though they were the 8th seed, it was more like a 4-5 matchup, if you ask me, just knowing that league and knowing those teams and coaches. So, overtime games, things can happen. They've been off for a couple of weeks now since that happen. So I think that's got to be interesting, just being a coach, knowing Coach Stone, how to manage those couple weeks off. But I think at this point in the year, we watch video of the other teams, but it's really got to be about us and knowing what we're good at, knowing what our standards are, and making sure that we're ready to execute.
Is it one of those things where you really can't take much from that game, that series between you and Harvard, just because it was so long ago, and you've kind of gone on this really successful stretch to end the season?
I think we can take some things from it. I think confidence is really important for any team at this time of year. So that knowing that we've beaten this team and that we can is a big deal for us. I think familiarity with the team that we're playing is helpful. A lot of players have said last year we played Colgate and nobody knew anything about them at that time, which is fun too. But just having a little familiarity is important. And I think having, just positive results against them is a good psychological advantage for us.
Do you feel there's a difference maybe in practice, kind of mentally, now that you have such a larger group of players who have NCAA experience?
Yeah, absolutely. There's definitely been a difference since Saturday night. Post the Minnesota game, we had a great conversation with the group, turned the page and started getting excited about the NCAA tournament in the next season. And you can tell a lot of people have been there in the room. So the excitement is legit. It's not, oh, what's this going to be like? Anxiety ridden. It's more like, we made it. We know how fun this is. Let's go.
And you heard us, we were talking with the player, with Jiggy and Gabby about being back at Ritter. Of course, the familiarity, home away from home, also having just been there. How huge is that to open up the tourney?
Yeah, really nice. A 2.5 hour bus ride just with the shortened week. In terms of logistics, it's been nice on my staff and players, just as they mentioned, knowing where we're going, knowing where we're staying, coming off that sheet of ice. Every rink's a little bit different. Knowing the locker rooms, there's just a lot of knowns, which is great. So we feel really good about the location that we're playing in.
Maura, the goaltending situation, kind of where are you at right now that you're in this one and done situation, kind of where are you at right now currently, and then going into Harvard, who do you expect to go with?
Yeah, I think we're in a really good situation. I remain steady in that message. I think JoJo, wanted that first one back, but there were a lot of things that went wrong before it got to her. And she made some amazing saves on Saturday. So that game had very little to do with goaltending, in my opinion, had a lot to do with everything else that went on. So again, really good situation. And so it's ready to go too. And she's played in this tournament. She's done very well in this tournament. So we're in a good spot. Not giving anything away yet, Sam.
Maura, how is Sodes doing? Post Olympics and everything like that. And I'm wondering if you've had to maybe manage your time a little better, whether it's in practice and such, because it probably was maybe unfair for any of us just to expect her to come back from China and be picking up where she left off, because she did see a lot of pucks over there in addition to the travel and everything.
She did, and she wanted to rip that Band-Aid off, as she said in her first press conference, but I think she needed a little time. I think she said she was feeling jet lag for a good 2 weeks after that trip, and I think it's jet lag. I think it's trying to come down from the ultimate high of reaching your childhood dream, everything you've shot for your whole life, and then coming back and going to school, because she wasn't in school for that whole time, and getting reacquainted with life. And she is Swedish as well, so it's a lot of adjusting. And now she's feeling great. She's ready to go. She is just a remarkable teammate, you guys. she's been our starting goalie for a year and a half, and JoJo got the start on Saturday. And Sods is such a supporter of JoJo and just an absolute team player. It's rare that you see players, especially goalies who are dueling, treat each other as well as those two do. And I can't say enough about Sods as a teammate. She's just super impressive.
Maggie Flaherty, still TB. Is she going to be available this weekend?
No.
No? Okay.
Kat, good to see you.
Good to see you too.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing great.
Matt already asked my question, so
Okay.
it's all
You're
good.
good. You're good.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it was good to see you.
Yeah, you too.
If everyone's good, I know Matt's got some questions for her about specific to the humanitarian stuff. So if you guys are good, you've got what you need from Coach, you guys can exit if you want. I'm not kicking you off. Thank you for all being on, but he's got just a different line of questioning, I think. So thank you guys all, as always, for your coverage. Thank you guys for all coming down this weekend. Saw y'all on the pass list.
Awesome.
And yeah, we'll see you guys Thursday. Thank you so much.
Thanks, guys.
No pressure, Matt, but I figured this is better.
Yeah, no, that's no problem. Good morning, Maura. How's it going over there?
Good. Thank you. How are you?
Good. Good. What's Duluth like up right now?
Cold. It was snowing a little while ago. We've got about 1.5 feet of snow still on the ground here. And it's spring break, but again, you wouldn't really get that sense. Where are you, Matt?
I'm northern North Dakota, so we've had a
okay.
lot of snow. We've had like 70 inches of snow this winter. It's been pretty not ideal, the way I look at it anyway. But
Yeah, not ideal for March 8th, that's for sure.
No, and it's still going now. It's been pretty good now that I look at it.
Wow.
So, Gabby has had obviously a heck of a season for you, but she's also been really busy off the ice. I mean, first of all, what's that like for you to have obviously a humanitarian finalist on the team?
It's my first time having one in all of my coaching career. So really special, and special for Gabby too. I love that kid. We have a great relationship. Feel like I've known her forever, just because, recruiting early back in the day when she got here. So know her family really well, and, know how impactful Sophie was in her life. And when she passed like she did, I had a feeling that Gabby was going to be very moved by it and do something positive from that, because right when it happened, she reached out to us coaches asking if we could do, I think it was helmet stickers or something right away. So I could see the wheels were turning in her head.
Is she kind of like a self-starter that way? I mean, like, obviously she came to you about it, but I mean, is that like, did she bring like a whole, did she have kind of like a whole like itemized list of everything? Okay, this is kind of like what I want to do.
She always approaches me about these things when she wanted to tell me all about the Sophie squad. She's one of the kids that can just come into my office and sit down and talk, which is nice. Sometimes kids don't like that with the head coach's office. They get a little nervous. She's not one of them. So we've talked extensively about Sophie squad, what they do, her involvement. And then when it came to having a game here, she and I were spitballing ideas based on what they had done at some of the high school games and her vision for what it should look like here. And she really took the bull by the horns. And, the board that she works with, that she's a big part of, she's by far the youngest one on there, and I think is critical in attracting the young audience that they are for Sophie squad.
Had she talked to you at all about any sort of prior community service this way?
Prior community service? What do you mean?
Like anything she might have been doing, like sort of like any kind of community work, whether it be like in high school or like earlier in her time at UMD or anything like that?
Yeah, so the Green Bandana Project is a group on campus, UMD athletes that she's very active in, again, surrounding mental health awareness So that's been important to her. She's going to be a special ed teacher, so she's always working with youth. So the two passions in her life, mental health and children, kind of blend beautifully with Sophie Squad and what they've been able to do.
Well, so like my degree is in education in 712.
Okay.
So like obviously a slightly different thing, but what's that like to have an education major on the team? Because I mean, like
Really hard.
from what I remember, it's a really big time commitment, right?
It's been very challenging for her the past, I guess this year is the first year that they've been doing she and another player on our team are in the same program. So their hours in the classroom. So 100 and some odd hours first semester this year. And then I forget what the requirement is this semester, but they're back in the classroom and they're gonna, backload it once hockey season is over. So they'll probably be in there like full-time hours. So that's been very demanding. I think, we've been super flexible with those players because, education for women is everything. So we want to be able to balance the two and keep in mind our practice times and things like that. I've been on Zoom calls with the players and the education people and our academic advisors to map out, their fifth year. She's actually going to be able to get into a master's program here during her fifth year and then finish her student teaching hours once she's done playing hockey in year 6 of school. So pretty awesome experience for her to come in here. She was undecided. She was thinking business and she made a switch. I believe it was her sophomore year, made the switch to education, then got into special ed, which is doubly demanding. And has been awesome on the ice the whole time through.
What is the fifth year situation like? I mean, is that anything to do with kind of like the COVID waiver or?
Yes, that's what it is. So because last year was cut short and not a standard, college athlete experience, the NCAA granted anybody that was playing an extra year of eligibility. So she will be taking advantage of that. And as I said, she'll be pursuing a master's degree during that time.
Teachers are as busy as anybody. But I mean, like even with that, whether she stays in that line of work after college or if she goes into anything else, I mean, do you expect her to stay community sort of as much community involved as she has been here?
I do. I think she will definitely go into teaching. She's incredibly passionate about it and is so funny with our group. She'll pull out some definite teacher type lines, teacher moments. You would, as an education major, you would appreciate it. You can see it all over her with the way that she leads, can sometimes be like a team mom. And it's awesome. So I think she'll definitely go into it. I know she wants to stay in Duluth if she can. And I think the work that she's been doing with Sophie Squad has really been an eye opener for her too, in her young life of what kind of impact she can make with her platform. I think for female athletes, that sometimes takes some time to understand what kind of power you have as a successful student athlete. And I think that has inspired her to really dig into what she's doing with Sophie Squad. And I think it's just going to expand.
Okay, I think that's everything I have. Hey, Maura, thank you for doing this.
Absolutely. Thank you. It's important.
Thank you,
Stay
Matt.
warm.
Thanks, Kelly.
Coach. Yeah, no problem. Thanks for working that out.
Yeah, you bet. All right, have a good day, guys.
Awesome. Thanks,
Have a good
guys.
practice, Coach.
Bye, Kelly.